all of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is.
The internet loves a scandal, but what if we're all looking at this wrong? While everyone's busy making lists and dissecting old clips, there's a bigger story hiding in plain sight. This isn't about who attended what party. It's about why an entire industry can stay silent for decades. Let me start with something nobody's talking about: the architecture of complicity. See, when allegations like these surface, the public reaction follows a predictable pattern. We focus on individuals, we create villains, we demand accountability from specific names. But that's exactly what allows the system to survive. Because while we're arguing about whether one clip means something or another person knew too much, the actual infrastructure that enabled everything stays perfectly intact. Think about it differently. Every major industry has gatekeepers. Music, film, tech, fashion, they all operate on the same principle. Access is currency, proximity equals opportunity, and silence? Silence is the price of admission.
Here's what fascinates me. We have an entire generation of artists, managers, executives, and industry veterans who were present during the same era. They attended the same events, worked with the same people, signed to the same labels. Yet, when questions arise, the response is remarkably uniform: vague statements, carefully worded denials, or complete radio silence. That's not coincidence. That's coordination. Not necessarily conspiracy, but something more subtle: a shared understanding of what you don't talk about if you want to keep working. Consider the economic incentives. If you're an up-and-coming artist, your career depends on relationships with people who can open doors. If you're an established name, your legacy is tied to those same networks. Speaking out doesn't just risk your current position, it potentially erases your past achievements by association. This creates what economists call a prisoner's dilemma. Everyone benefits if they all stay quiet. But the moment one person breaks ranks, everyone else has to decide: do I corroborate and risk everything, or do I deny and protect myself?
Let's examine something the viral clip culture misses entirely: the business model behind celebrity circles. These aren't just friendships or mentorships. They're strategic alliances built on mutual benefit and mutual exposure. When you see photos of the same people at the same events year after year, that's not just socializing. That's networking at the highest level. That's deals being made, collaborations being formed, power being concentrated. And here's the uncomfortable truth. In that environment, everyone accumulates leverage on everyone else. It's not always intentional or malicious. It's structural. You know things about people because you were there. They know things about you for the same reason. This creates a different kind of silence. Not the silence of covering up crimes, but the silence of mutually assured destruction. Nobody wants to be the first domino because they know they're not standing alone. Social media is obsessed with the headlines, but the court documents tell a much darker story. This isn't just a case of individual misconduct, it's a story of institutional failure. The allegations describe an environment where the warning signs were visible to almost everyone: security teams, assistants, and industry executives. These events didn't happen in a vacuum. They occurred right alongside high-stakes business deals and creative collaborations. This raises questions the industry can no longer afford to ignore. How do management companies justify sending their talent into high-risk environments? At what point do record labels become responsible for the rumors they choose to ignore? And when does the way things are finally cross the line into legal liability? These aren't just rhetorical questions. They are the blueprint for systemic change. Because prosecuting one person, no matter how powerful, doesn't stop the cycle. To prevent the next version of this story, we have to address the system that allowed it to exist in the first place.
With Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 14? What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans,
And your
Jodeci,
parents were
Mary
okay?
J. Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 in the morning with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem. I had like,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Multiple stories in this saga involve young artists being introduced to industry veterans through mentorship arrangements. This is presented as career development, and sometimes it genuinely is, but it also creates a uniquely vulnerable dynamic. A young artist in their teens or early 20s lacks industry knowledge and business sophistication, is financially dependent on their team's decisions, feels pressure to seem mature, professional, and ready, has limited ability to distinguish normal industry practices from exploitation.
Would say, man, you gotta chill. Like, you just a little bit too intense. You gotta relax. Like, yo, man, I'm here to work, man. I ain't sang in a week. I mean, I'm 13 years old, like banging on this man as though, I am the manager. I am the spokesperson for Usher. And I'm telling him, look, you're gonna put me in the studio, man. You got Biggie Smalls in there. You got Craig Mack in there. You're gonna make me a priority too. I'm not here to party with you. I don't wanna go to the clubs. Matter of fact, I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs? I think as a kid, I realized, hey, look, that's not my ring. That's not my moment. That's not my bottle. That's not my drink. That's not my celebration. So I'm not here to celebrate. I wanted people to be excited about me the way that they were excited about him. I wanted my own success.
When mentorship happens behind closed doors, without oversight, without clear boundaries, it creates opportunities for abuse. Not always, not inevitably, but frequently enough that we should question why this model persists. And here's the part that implicates everyone. The entire industry knows this dynamic exists. It's been the subject of jokes, whispered warnings, and cautionary tales for decades. Yet it remains standard practice. The most common defense you'll hear is ignorance. I wasn't aware. I didn't see anything. That wasn't my experience. Sometimes that's true. Large events have multiple rooms, different social circles, VIP sections that remain
trying to get to Bieber for a minute, and his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there, but you got custody of him first. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber
separate. You can be at the same party and have completely different nights. But institutional ignorance is different from individual ignorance. When allegations span years, involve multiple venues, and include numerous witnesses, the nobody knew defense becomes less plausible at the systemic level. This is where the conversation needs to shift. Instead of asking, did this specific person know about that specific incident, we should ask, what cultural norms made people feel they shouldn't speak up, even if they suspected something? Here's a complication. Social media has become the primary venue for these conversations, and algorithms aren't designed for nuance. The most viral content is shocking rather than substantive, accusatory rather than analytical, certain rather than careful. This creates a feedback loop where measured responses get drowned out by sensational claims, where speculation gets shared as fact, where the loudest voices dominate regardless of their credibility. That's dangerous for two reasons. It can destroy innocent people through association and innuendo, It can desensitize audiences so that real evidence gets dismissed as more internet drama. The question isn't whether people should discuss these topics online. They absolutely should. The question is whether the current format serves justice or just serves engagement metrics.
If we're serious about addressing this, not just this scandal, but the conditions that enabled it, we need to think beyond individuals. Real accountability includes industry-wide standards for working with minors and young artists, independent oversight for mentorship arrangements and industry relationships, transparent reporting mechanisms that don't require victims to sacrifice their careers, financial audits to trace who profited from potentially exploitative situations, cultural transformation that values speaking up over staying silent. None of that happens by making lists of names or sharing old clips. It happens through boring, unsexy work, policy reform, contract standardization, enforcement mechanisms.
Here's what keeps me up. If everything being alleged is true, the number of people who had some knowledge, direct or indirect, runs into the hundreds, maybe thousands. Artists, producers, executives, managers, security, staff, journalists, photographers, other guests, all these people moving through the same spaces over decades. That's not a conspiracy, that's a culture. And you can't prosecute a culture, you can only change it. So instead of asking who's on the tapes, maybe we should ask,
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friend. Happy birthday to you. Thank you. It's a special birthday for both.
what industry practices need to end immediately? How do we create accountability without destroying due process? What protections do young artists need that they currently lack? Who profits from keeping the current system intact?
This story isn't ending anytime soon. More names will surface, more allegations will emerge, more old footage will get reframed. But if all we do is consume the drama, we're missing the opportunity. This is a rare moment when the public is paying attention to how the industry actually operates. That attention could drive real change, or it could just burn through another news cycle and leave everything exactly as it was. The choice isn't...
We want to thank you. Come here. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close. But it's just like, yo, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it, and you did.
No. I definitely didn't have to do it. I definitely didn't have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed. Shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna, if we can, let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even, I don't want it to come close to the bed, at all. Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. I should.
Fresh off the guard stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like that's how. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early. And now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
What the fuck did Puff just say? Nobody's gonna acknowledge this but me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes. And we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was fucking stupid. Listen,
having a good time, yo. Your Usher made it in the... Hey, yo.
I'm a thug. At the end of the day, nigga, I kill niggas, man. No, listen, at the end of the day, I kill niggas. Everybody know me, man. Listen, in the streets, Diddy's there this weekend.
Up to the celebrities staying silent or the ones speaking out. It's up to the broader culture of how we engage with these stories.
Here's the thing nobody wants to admit. We're all part of this ecosystem. Every stream of a song produced by someone with allegations, every concert ticket purchased, every magazine bought, every click on a gossip article. The industry exists because we fund it. The culture persists because we participate in it. The silence continues because we accept it. I'm not saying individual consumers are responsible for industry misconduct. That's absurd. But I am saying we have more power than we think we do.
Art took 50 million to unversion his whole.
Can you explain a little bit?
No, I just told you.
Katt's work, public pressure works, sustained attention works. But it only works if we're willing to go beyond the initial outrage. It only works if we're willing to make uncomfortable choices about who we support and why. It only works if we care about the outcome more than we care about being part of the conversation. Here's the thing nobody wants to admit. We're all part of this ecosystem. Every stream of a song produced by someone with allegations, every concert ticket purchased, every magazine bought, every click on a gossip article. The industry exists because we fund it. The culture persists because we participate in it. The silence continues because we accept it. I'm not saying individual consumers are responsible for industry misconduct. That's absurd. But I am saying we have more power than we think we do. Boycotts work. Public pressure works. Sustained attention works. But it only works if we're willing to go beyond the initial outrage.
DJ should be charged. Mary J. Blige should also be charged. Jennifer Lopez should definitely be charged. Should I keep going?
You're hitting it off.
Jay-Z should be charged. Khaled should be charged. Rick Ross should be charged. Usher should be charged and tried with him. Off of Dustin Bieber.
Now, Carisha and Rick Ross just sat down together. At the end of
I know. Two Diddy doo-wop bops. What are we doing?
Hey.
Only thing they got.
It only works if we're willing to make uncomfortable choices about who we support and why. It only works if we care about the outcome more than we care about being part of the conversation.
Because that's when the real work begins. That's when reform actually happens. That's when the unsexy, unglamorous, slow process of structural change takes place. The victims of industry abuse, past, present, and future, deserve more than our momentary outrage. They deserve sustained commitment to making sure this can't happen again. The question is, are we capable of that? Or are we just here for the show? What's your take? Are we having the right conversation about this, or are we missing the forest for the trees? More importantly, and be honest with yourself about this, will you still care about this issue 6 months from now when it's not trending anymore? Drop your thoughts below. I'm genuinely curious whether people think social media trials help or hurt real accountability, and whether we're capable of caring about something after it stops being viral.